Nothing is guaranteed when you invest. If you're choosing stocks, the company could go bankrupt. If you're choosing real estate, the tenant might not pay for a few months, or a global pandemic happens and your property value goes in the red. Regardless of what you choose, you have to go in with the knowledge that you might lose. Even if you don't lose cash right away, you might be at an unrealized loss temporarily and you just need to weather the storm. What you should never do is buy high and sell low, which is exactly what this investor did and what inspired this video. I'm furious at reading this. It is a Financial Post article. I'll hide her name, but it's on the paper anyway, so I'll read it to you and give you my thoughts. She doesn't even officially own her condo yet, and she's already trying to sell it. If you're selling at a gain, sure. If you lost your job and you can't manage a mortgage or you might default, this is fine. The 56-year-old agreed to buy a unit pre-construction when surging valuations and rising rents made it seem like the perfect investment. Now with rents plunging and an exodus from downtown, she faces a choice between paying out more in mortgage than she'd collect in rent or selling her investment at a discount. I am so annoyed right now. Just look at the greed and clear inexperience in this article. Rents and prices were shooting up. Yeah, okay, great, that happens. But what about the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the cycles? Why didn't she know going into this? Canadian landlords have been riding a high for 20 years, and then they get 1 year of a price correction and rent correction and everyone starts panic selling? I'll read the next comment. With rents plunging, she might be paying more in mortgage than she'd collect in rent. Why didn't you plan for this? Any article written about Toronto condos would have said, condo landlords must be able to handle a cash negative property. Just because you bought a property doesn't mean it'll always be cash positive all the time. You need to prepare for this. What if your tenant leaves and you can't rent it out? Why didn't you plan for this? You should have 6 months minimum of cash to fund any vacancies. What's even worse, she hasn't even tried to get it rented. The next comment says she's forced to sell at a discount. What are you talking about? The realtor should be advising her on this, but to be honest, a lot of realtors are greedy and it's their business, so they're not going to argue with you or advise you against not selling it, because then they'll miss out on a commission. She's doing what all the books tell you not to do. She's buying high and she's selling low. She's guaranteeing herself a loss. She's had the unit for 2 years pre-construction, and let's say it has gone up in value in those 2 years. She didn't sell when she was making money, but now that she's at an unrealized loss potentially, she's selling. She's guaranteeing herself a loss. If you're selling because you think condo prices and rents will never come back, you clearly haven't been doing your research. Talk to me in 2 years when condo prices are back to their all-time highs and the incels on Reddit keep commenting about a real estate crash. Let me make this even worse. Take a look at the next comment. Even if we get a tenant, we'll have negative cash flow until this city rebounds. Why was this never an option or possibility in your mind? You should always plan for a cash negative situation. Don't plan for the best. You have to plan for the worst so you don't get caught with your pants down. What makes this even worse, she hasn't even tried to get it rented. If the unit is vacant for an entire year, I understand that's hard on the landlord and they might have to sell. Your cash balance and your reserves will definitely take a hit. But even if the unit is rented, you still can't afford to keep it. I'm about to punch a hole through my laptop right now. How much cash would you be losing per month if you have it tenanted and you're currently paying more on the mortgage? Let's say $200 a month, $400 a month. If you're planning to be a landlord and you can't afford a $200 or $400 contingency, A, your realtor failed you, B, your friends and family failed you, and C, you're not ready mentally or financially. Just because you have $100,000 cash doesn't mean you have $100,000 to invest. Let's say you have $80,000 to invest and you have $20,000 just in case something happens. If you're a landlord and your unit is vacant for a year and you've had the cash to hold on for a year and you have to sell at a loss, I get it. I'm not mad at you. You've done your best. No one can reasonably expect you to have more than a year's worth of cash on hand. But let's say the economy tanks and you have to sell at a loss, that's fine. But why I'm so annoyed at this article is she hasn't even tried to get it rented and she wants to sell at a loss. Let me move away from this article and just speak to prospective investors. If you think the Toronto condo market is dead forever and the rents and prices will never come back, you're thinking extremely short-sighted. Why do I still have clients buying units downtown? Why do I still have clients renting units downtown? Not everyone wants to live in the suburbs. Not everyone has the choice or the option or the money to buy a house in the suburbs. Everyone keeps commenting about they want more space, everyone's moving up north. but that's not always an availability or an option to everyone. Sometimes, like a lot of my clients are saying, the suburbs are boring. They like the convenience of everything being downtown. Everything's kind of walkable. If you're in the suburbs, you'll probably have to buy a car. Talk to me in 3 years. If I have to hear people saying, oh, in 2020, I should have bought, I should have invested, I'll probably lose my mind. You have to realize that your investment, whatever it may be, stocks or real estate or something else, it might go up, it might go down in value. Not everything just goes straight up. It's unrealistic. You're being too optimistic. Everything works in cycles, and real estate is part of it. Don't do what this condo investor did. Don't buy high and sell low at the first sight of something going wrong. She's guaranteeing herself a loss. She didn't even try to sell when her unit value was up. She's only selling at the first sight of things going wrong. Just please do your research. What kind of bothers me, I know I've said it a few times, she hasn't even tried to get it leased yet. She doesn't know how much she'll be out. What if she'll be breaking even? Even as a vaccine is coming out and the economy might open up soon, she hasn't even tried. I'm still kind of annoyed. I'm not going to do an outro for this video. Please thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be releasing a recap on the 2020 housing market and be releasing in the same video my predictions for the 2021 Toronto housing market. Thanks, guys.